Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Judah Rain's channel. I want to talk a little bit about some of the prophecies that are converging in 2026. Many of the reports that are out there of this world problems in particular, coming to a close. A couple of things I want to touch on is you may have heard that Palantir's CEO was recently in Rome, Peter Thiel, to do a discussion on the Antichrist and how it seems that he was twisting such a notion to mean that whatever the masses of people do to him and his company personally would be considered the Antichrist, as he wishes to have complete control over every human being and over life itself through the many applications of technology that either they discovered and or was able to, with the permission of the Most High, was able to open or unlock the secret to a particular ancient technology that they have been allowed by the Most High to bring out. Not that the Most High is rooting for them or in their corner. What the Most High is doing is illuminating the wickedness and the cruelty of these people who are in these high stations. And they're illuminating because what he's illuminating and they are illuminating is the depravity to which they will go in order to maintain their position of power and to add to their hoarded wealth and unearned greed and power. And so some of the commentary, including some old interviews that he participated in, I could not help but think that if I were to allegedly finger the Antichrist out in a crowd, I probably would point to him. But I digress. And so it is quite remarkable that that he was also speaking, according to many reports, about Armageddon. And of course, the meetings in Rome were closed, and apparently they were very expensive, of course, to ensure that only a select group of people would attend, and that there seems to be a possible recording out there floating around. That's neither here or there whether or not we hear the recording or so, but we do know that we are living in the time in which their power to lord over the masses has been ripped away from them. And all of the pangs that they are going through now is in a futile attempt to retrieve the depths of that power, to bring it back to their use. But they will be unsuccessful and continue to be unsuccessful until the creator of the universe removes everything that has been given to them unjustly. And so another report that is out, which is a deep sign, is that apparently a lot of the military, allegedly a lot of those that are in the military, are refusing to go to Iran. And I kind of got a feeling of that because of the numbers that the president is sending over there are so small. It's like less than 5,000 or 3,000 people. That's almost virtually nothing at all, even if they are well armed. So it seems that there is disquietedness in the ranks of all the armed forces of the United States of America. And of course, we know why, because the stark reality of the truth is that they're not going there to fight for freedom. They're not going there to fight for the American people. They're not going there to fight for their families and friends. They're going over there to fight for people who have more than enough riches, more than enough power, who do not share their power with the masses, who are causing so much pain and distress in the United States of America, whom they have been pounding and pounding and pounding for all of these years, and truly since the 2000s, and they ratcheted up in 2010, and both of those years were prophetic in their numbering. And the caveat or the cherry on top is, of course, the Epstein's files that have come out to blanketly show beyond whatever the conspiracy theorists have said in the past, and they have said much into whatever those who knew that there was a kernel of truth, like myself, to what was being uncovered, to those who had lost their lives due to bringing out this truth that the masses had thought was unbelievable and it couldn't be true. And now that those files are out, and these men and women who are asked to go to a nation, to a people who hadn't even done them any wrong, to a nation where they know that those same people, I'm talking about Iran and American soldiers, they know that Iran is very strategic. They know that Iran is not playing around. They know that Iran is not missing targets. They're not missing their targets. They're landing all their targets, or enough to make a difference. They're pummeling a group of people who really, in the state that in the Middle East, who really haven't brought much to humanity. They have taken much. They have taken all kinds of things and hoarded those things unto themselves. And they have sent people not of their own blood, not even of their own countrymen, out here to war and to give up their lives for something that those soldiers' families and the citizens of the United States have not benefited from. But they have continually, in the state that is in the Middle East, continually become more powerful and rich. And even though, they are thought of as wealthy, the conglomerate of them have not been blessed. And just a small group, it seemed, have been able to practice lawlessness and devil doing with no penalties until now. Until now, there is that spiritual element. The Most High is allowing them to get their just due. You see, and it's proving once and for all that wherever you might say about the rest of the planet, including descendants of American slaves, the people of America and the people of the West are being forced to recognize who is the synagogue of Satan. And that they cannot abide by putting their bodies and their families on the line to fight for a people that are not going to return them in kind and favor. So that old adage of, if you bless that nation, you yourself will be blessed, was not extended and has not been extended to the masses of the American people. It has only been able to enrich those that were already high up and already wealthy and practicing much wickedness. And that is not even an alleged, that is bound by the proof of the files, the portions that have been released. And that also, too, that the government is buckling to release the remaining of it because, as one politician said, it will completely destroy the union, quote unquote, of this country in North America. And so when you have that truth working and operating in your mind and in your heart and penetrating your soul, and then now you're being asked to put your life on the lines for these devil doers, for these people who have there's document evidence that they have unalive children and babies, that they have done things to underage women and men or boys and girls. that no one has been brought to justice on. And now you want the soldiers, and I can understand this, you want me to go out there and risk my life for these people so that what they can get more riches, because that's what it's about. It's about the oil. And it's about them trying to stabilize their fracturing power and their fracturing status in this wicked world. That's what's going on. And so the heart of the people is bothering them. Their consciousness is bothering them, and rightly so. And I think that that is the Most High that's putting that in there. That white supremacy has a very, very deep cost. It has a very deep cost. And what people are now finding out is that the price of that and the cost of that is too much to bear. The returns have not been what these people were hypnotized and believing. And so the veil of hypnosis has been lifted, and the people of the United States of America are being forced to see things exactly as they are, irregardless if they want to or not. And so this is a good thing for the masses of people that we have en masse, a lot of those of the armed forces buckling and saying, hey, if that particular nation wants something more from the people that have been inhabiting that land of Iran for millennia, if they want that, then they need to go in there and get it themselves. And I say that the soldiers of America, the military of America is correct. They're absolutely correct. Who in those ranks are going to benefit? But the elite, but the very rich, but people who have more money than they will ever spend, more control than they had that's even healthy, right? So they're losing that control. And this is a good thing. This is a sign that the Most High or the angels that the Most High has sent is absolutely operating and is moving the winds, the four corners of the earth to be against those that have ruled in this world. And so my prayer is that more, bring it on, because as soon as they are removed from their power, the sooner then that the Christ kingdom administration in New Jerusalem can truly take place. And that government system, which is going to be operating on the principles of love, the principles of family, the principles of friendship, and the principles of brotherhood and sisterhood. And those people who are descendants of American slaves, we have demonstrated in our imperfectness with everything that is thrown at us. And it doesn't mean that we haven't been made crazy. We have been made crazy. And even in our craziness, we have shown a level of dignity for humans and the human body, a dignity for people of all races. We have shown that we are people that are not to the nth degree in prejudice and racism. Of course, some of us suffer from that, but look where we live. But for the most part, people have, of all the worlds, have been able to come in and literally feed off of us and bring their weight up and get their status up and move that money and that wealth out of the country to the other nations, thereby making them wealthy. But they won't be able to feed off of us like they had been in past. In New Jerusalem, that will not be permitted. But the people and the government of New Jerusalem, the real one, the one that will be right here in the United States, will be a just one, will be a one always moving toward goodness. And although we'll be shut off for a time, once we throw up on our hands and throw open the nation to help the rest of the world, you will know for sure that it's done from the heart and it's done out of goodness and it is backed up by the Most High God. All right, so that is what my prayer is, and I've been praying all the time that even more comes out. So the Antichrist that this man is talking about, I don't know what he actually said. I don't have to know every word, but I do know that there is historical evidence that in Rome that was considered the Antichrist because of that religion and what it did to the rest of the world, especially during slavery, and how that bounded the Most High's people. and that there were a lot of untruths that were being told. Of course, that church has been broken now. A lot of people are not even paying attention to it anymore. But the governmental system that has been anointed by the great Satan, that is being broken up right now. And there's nothing that any one of them can say, and there's nothing that any one of them can do. There are no amount of seminars, no amount of lectures, nothing that they can do. They can lock arm in arm. They can even jump in a big old bed together. It will not change what is already unfolding, which is the lessening and the breaking up of their power and their hold on the masses, and the rise of the children of Yah to prominence and power. Thank you for listening.